Hi guys and girls, welcome back to the spare room. I'm back from the foundry. I've got a couple of these in brass. It's got a bit of aluminium in it just to make the glass going there. It's got a bit of aluminium in it just to make it run, and those letters printed up really nice. And it's fairly flat. A bit of flash on there where the parting line was, but not a bad casting. What we're going to do in this video is finish it and get it mounted up on the machine, so let's get in and do it. So I've set this up upside down in the shaper just with a DTI on there to measure, see if it's sort of somewhere near level that way and that way. It seems to be pretty flat. I'm pleased with that. It's just sitting on a parallel in the middle in the vise, and I think that's probably going to be okay. I've just got a fairly sharp tool there. That's going to take a couple of cuts there to clean up, and I've got a machine running in the background there, so you really don't want to sit and watch it. I'm going to run through it and then take another cut and see how it cleans up, and we'll have another look. Brass is pretty lousy stuff because you'll get splinters in your fingers and you won't see them for about a week, and then they'll start to hurt. But there we go. That's pretty well cleaned up on the base. I haven't taken any more off than I really need to, and there's a shrinkage spot in the top there. I don't know if you can see that. We'll slip him out and have a look. Still running into problems with spanners for this. I might have to bite the bullet and buy some nice tool steel and make a couple, because this really isn't cutting it. None of the spanners I have or I've found, is my coffee ready, actually fit this machine, so it's a bit of a problem with making older machines, I guess. But that's been finished off there nice and parallel that way. There's a fair bit of weight in that, and pretty good finish through there. Not too many inclusions or anything. You can see that shrinkage in the top there, just where it's been a bit thicker. I guess the next job is to set it up that way around and machine the top there, or flatten the top off to mark it. That's probably the next job. And knock these off here with a file and clean them all up nice. But I'm going to take the sharp edges off this first, and might set him up and face this one. So that's what we got. That's cleaned up well enough to send a punch and drill, and doesn't want much more than that off it, or it'd be too narrow this way. That's cleaned up nice. I've cleaned up the ends a bit. And this needs a good sand up or run through the tumbler or something maybe. And this needs cleaning up, and our groove's pretty ugly there, so Probably the best and smartest way to clean this up on available equipment is to set this up in the shaper and sharpen a tool to run through there. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I'll have to think about that. But probably I'm just going to file this up. So why my stupid camera keeps zooming in, I'm not sure. But probably I'm just going to file that up. That's probably the next job. So that's what I've got. It's nice and secure there. It bolts down through it and it sits on that block nicely. It still needs to be drilled and it needs to be tapped in the front for a grub screw. If anyone was wondering how that goes together, that's it. It's got the lock nut under here with the plate on the bed, and that looks good. Let's pull him off again. This is a trial fit. That slides in there. If we loosen him off, we can move this backwards and forwards like this and round this way. So there's heaps of adjustment. There we go. So it needs to be drilled and a 3/4 reamer through there, and drilled and tapped in here for M6 bolt. And we're starting to look like this part's done. So next job will be to find the centre and mark this. Centre punch it, drill a pilot hole through, then drill him fraction under 3/4 for a reamer. No, just ream him in the drill press. Should be plenty good enough. And we're going to set this up somehow, probably on an angle plate, and drill this one. So let's go do it. So I pretty much gave up on trying to drill this in the drill press. My drill press is too fast and not really got enough power to put an 18mm hole through there. If I do it in small steps, the thing grabs and it'll just take it out of my hand, so that's a bit dangerous too. It's really too big to go on the faceplate because it hangs over too much and it's just going to bang on the bed. Well, it's not going to go round at all. So what I've done is bolted up an angle plate and I've just clamped that to there pretty rough. It doesn't have to be particularly good. And I'm just going through, well, it's got to be strong, but accuracy is not all that important. I've just lined it up for a centre and I've drilled it through, and I'm going to put a bit bigger drill through until we get it. In an ideal world, probably a milling machine, decent little drill mill, or if we were going to do it this way, maybe a boring head. There we go. What I've done is run the tailstock here along the back up against the piece to stop some of that chatter, which seems to have worked. And we're through there at 18mm. So that's quite an accomplishment on this little machine, or on any machine in brass. We have a look. This isn't quite big enough yet, but I reckon we've got a 3/4 reamer there. Let's just see if that'll start to cut. Yeah, that'll go through there pretty effortlessly. And the moment of truth, that's pretty good in there. Once the fire up and a deburr, and that's that hole. One more hole to go in here, which is probably going to be M6 for a bolt, just to hold that in place. There's probably a few ways we could do that. We could make something here and bolt it that way around, or we could just bolt it that way around. It's going to be a bit of a hassle to get it on centre to do that, and I don't really want to. The best way is probably to take this off here, bolt this up here with a little square, use one of Stan's little squares to get it right, and clamp it up and centre punch it and drill it and tap it that way up in the drill press. So I'm going to do that next. So I've clamped this up here, use one of these, and these are Stan's Bar Z squares. They've got the Bar Z logo on there. They're fantastic. They're paired, so you can sit that on there like that and use it as a square to set that up. It's one of the millions of uses. It's pretty useful. And the other one, if you can't get to that side, the other one will sit on this side here. So, pretty useful thing. Have a bit of a look into them. There might be opportunity. Let's just say subscribe to the channel, because there could be a giveaway coming up and I might give a set of these away, but I'm not saying any more yet, and next couple of weeks will sort of work that out. We'll set that up nice and square, and I've centre punched the middle. I'm going to drill in 5.1, and I've got a 1/4 bolt I'm going to put in the end there, just to hold it all in place. Tap in 1/4, and we'll have a look. Anyway, there we go. That's cleaned up. I've pretty much spent a bit of time on this with a little square file and other files. I've filed this up to a template with just a piece of round bar, and I've drilled and tapped that through there. It's nice and clean all over. I've given that E a bit of a clean up. It might even get a little bit more, but it's nice and smooth and it looks pretty good. This goes in there like that and slides along nice. Probably at the moment it fits better one way than the other. It still needs a little bit of work there, but it'll get that. But it slides nicely right through. We've got this block that we had before, which has got the pieces, the cutouts for the bed. That slides nicely. That goes in there like that. This with the round corner goes underneath. This is a genuine Lorch part. And so is this, which is the knob. That goes on there. This goes in there. We've got this lever that we've made and finished, and that sits there like that. And no support on the end. That's pretty good actually. And I've got this lever, which I still haven't soldered yet. A couple of people have said put a grub screw in it. That sort of works, but it always comes loose with this sort of strain on it. I'm not that happy to do that, so what I'm going to probably do is weld that, but I've got to get some gas first. And that's what we got. So that should all still be on centre height. I don't know really how effective that is. Probably that's going to work right back there at that setting. Probably you could loosen this off and put that out there too. It's not too excessive. And that works pretty nice for whatever diameter that you're going to be working on. So yeah, it looks like it's nearly finished. I don't know whether another video will finish it or not. There's a few things I'd like to do. I'd like to get a decent bolt for in here. Have a look, I've just got a CAD plated crappy quarter bolt there. That sort of works. Probably a proper grub screw for an Allen key would be the nicest option, and maybe I've got one of them there. I'll have to have a bit of a look. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. There will be another one, and whether we'll get to actually using the machine then, I don't know. There are other things that are happening here in the workshop, but I've got to have a bit of a clean up first. So that's the tool on the machine. Thanks for watching. More soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff. Leave a comment. Be kind to each other. And keep an eye out for the next video, eh?